Hello, Cindy here. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. Thanks so much for your patience as I have been moving from California to Tucson, Arizona. Crazy. Anyway, I'm so excited to talk to you guys today around 3 ways to create a loving relationship. And I'm going to talk to you about some things that don't work and support you in ways of being that does work to support what you really want underneath it all. So the first way to create a loving relationship is to decide that you really desire that. You really desire a loving, connected partnership. So that's the first step. And there's layers underneath that, because you can decide that you want it, but are you committed to creating it? Because I'm here to tell you that it takes bravery to dive into what that looks like. Because all of us have layers, all of us have things, different corners in our lives, skeletons in our closet, so to speak, that we might feel shame around. We might feel, we might not feel worthy of really having what your heart on the surface wants. So first, you get to decide that you desire that, and you get to decide that you're actually worthy of having what you want and accepting yourself, knowing that everyone else has things, everyone else has stuff in their life. So those are the first steps. And they might seem simple, yet they can be kind of complicated, because, we all have a bit of, baggage, so to speak. And put your thumbs up if you're looking to create a lasting, loving partnership, and you're finally ready to say yes. My 5-year-old decided to come in and join us. Okay. You want to come join? So he's going to join us today, or not. And I apologize, you guys. I wanted to make sure I got back on live, and I've got my 5-year-old running around the house because he's out of school. Anyways, so you get to decide that. Secondly, you get to decide what that looks like. And, not just on the surface level, but what that looks like on the day-to-day, and what are so what that looks like. What does that look like to you? What does that mean to you? So you get to write that down, and it's different for everyone. The other thing is you get to reverse engineer what's not worked for you in the past to look at. And, I believe in every relationship, it takes two to tango. And, even in a relationship that is, there's emotional abuse or verbal abuse or even physical abuse, it does take two. And when I explain that, it's not that, if you are the abusee in that sense, it's not the fact that you
Mommy, I want to take a shoe on.
Okay, hold on. So it's not the fact that
let me say one.
Okay. It's not the fact that you are to blame. It's the fact that you may have participated in the process of whatever the relationship was. So that person will definitely move on to, sorry, you guys, to.
Am I going to wait? That means siblings.
Will you go outside? Or be quiet?
No, I feel sick.
Okay. So.
Can go get swimming.
Okay. Okay, so this is what mom life looks like as well. When it comes to bringing in that lasting partnership, you get to look at your good, bad, and ugly. This is part of my good, bad, and ugly, right? It's not perfect. So, you know, when you've been in an abusive situation and, you know, I understand there's a lot of triggers that happen that are based on, you know, oftentimes our childhood triggers or things that you've experienced in the past. So reverse engineering what hasn't worked for you in the past. What has worked well, and what would you like to create more of? So, you know, a good reference to look at, and I'm going to dig deeper into this, is the 5 love languages. Because, you know, everyone possesses something, you know, even all of the 5 love languages, but some people are more focused on certain ones than others, but how to build that up, right? And then, you know, to attract a loving partnership, you get to be a loving partnership. Now, this is not about perfection. It's really about, you know, who is the woman that you get to be to attract the kind of man that you want to be with. So if, you know, something I teach my clients around is, you know, having what's called the fabulous 5 and working out what their highest values are, and also working towards being those things. Now, it's not to say that you're perfect, because, you know, many people, when you meet someone that's truly compatible with you, they possess qualities that you don't necessarily possess. So, you know, maybe they're more analytical and they look at numbers a little bit differently, and you're more of a visionary type and you get really excited about things. That's okay. Or, you know, maybe they're a little more cautious and it's harder for them to trust, and you are a little more trusting. So, you know, looking at those things, you can allow yourself to create a loving partnership. You know, the other thing too is let go of what's not serving you. So if you're dating people or dating someone that you're hoping to get their affections, or they're sending you mixed signals, chances are that's not going to change. Now, early on in dating, of course, everybody's trying to figure it out. And maybe you've figured, you know, you've decided, because women will do this, and the heart wants what the heart wants. You know, a woman will oftentimes decide, okay, this guy seems like the guy, and she starts to fantasize what it would be like when you don't really know him. So the third way to really create a loving, lasting, healthy partnership is to take some time to get to know him. Take some time to get to know him as a friend. Take some time to really, truly connect with who he is, what his values are, and make sure that his values really align with yours. And if he's not, you know, if you want something and you're really attracted to him, you know, maybe you have a really great time with him, but he's not actually, you know, making the move to create the kind of connection that you want. I mean, you can open the door for him and say, because sometimes men do get intimidated, they get scared just like we do. However, you know, saying, gosh, if you were to ask me out on a date, or what is it that what are your intentions with me? And say it silently with a smile. And listen to them. Sometimes people don't know their intentions. However, if you're getting to know someone who's, we all have layers, and most of us really want to be in a loving, lasting relationship. However, sometimes our past or different things in our life hold us back from really opening our hearts to that. And if you meet somebody that you just think is so great and they're not in that place to take a chance, open their heart, attract and lasting love with you, or give it a shot, then it's not going to work anyway. So make sure you set yourself up for success. And if your heart wants this individual and they're not really showing up for you, that can be the unworthiness conversation, which the ego keeps us stuck in what's comfortable. The ego keeps us stuck in, having to work really hard for love, having to work to create what we really want with a man, having to prove you're self-worthy when that's not actually the case. You can open your heart up to great partnership with somebody who wants to do that. And usually, if you're not used to someone being really available, they will try to get to know you. They'll attempt to get to know you in ways that you're not used to, and you may actually try to push them away. So what I invite you to do is open yourself up to that connection and, allow the uncomfortable feelings to happen. Allow yourself to become open and vulnerable so that you can actually create what it is you really want. And you get to be really honest. You get to be open about that. And this is not about being needy. I think a lot of times we can, feel fearful that he's going to think a certain thing. It doesn't matter what someone thinks. I want you to hear that. When you want to create a loving, lasting partnership, it's about you being able to be self-expressed and not worry about what he thinks. Now, is there communication positioning? Absolutely. And I want to dive into that. I go into this intricately with my clients, and, I'll work with some of my clients, 90 days, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and certain things will land later on that didn't really register in the beginning, because we all have patterns of thinking. We all have things that we do that can actually block us from creating love. So reverse engineering what didn't work in the past. What do you want to create? And what are your values? And look at what's not working. Get really clear what's not working right now. Well, maybe you're dating someone that isn't really aligned with wanting what you want. Okay, awesome. C'est la vie. And, opening yourself up to say, you know what, I think you're great. I'm in a place where I'm inviting in lasting love, and I want to make space to date people that are on the same page as me. I hope you understand. I think you're great. So not being attached to that and letting go of, a lot of times as women, our heart wants to shift something in someone when we can't do that. They get to decide. So letting someone go to allow yourself the ability to open your heart up for what is meant to come to you. I hope this helps you guys. Please put your comments below. I'm committed to, if you're committed to creating a loving relationship, write that down in the box below. Thanks for being patient with my craziness over here and saying hi to my son. Love you guys. Mwah.